Alrighty. Good morning, YouTube. How are we doing today? Tarp talk. Let's talk about tarps. I had a question asked about the tarp I used in the last camp out. I brought it today, but I also brought, I carry different tarps depending on what I'm doing. I've been looking for that one tarp that just does everything. I'll share my thoughts on that. Really kind of situational, but I'll go over the 3 tarps I brought and whether or not I'd recommend them for anything. Obviously I'm going to recommend for something. I'm carrying them. If I didn't think they were worth using, I wouldn't even have them with me. So let's go over, I'll go over some quick specs real quick, because I'll forget to do it later. We'll start from smallest to largest. This is a outdoor product. It's a 5 foot by 7 foot, and I've got to take notes because I'm old. This came from Walmart, and it was $10, and they still have these. I've actually got, I believe, 2 of these, but they're pretty good. They're 5 foot wide, 7 foot long, depending on how you hang them. I don't remember how many tie-outs they have on them, but somewhere between probably 6 and 8. It's not bad. I started using it for a diagonal over a hammock at some point, so it works okay in a pinch. It packs down really small and it's extremely light, but they're not the most durable. If you're just using them as a tarp, they'll probably last you for quite a while, but I use them as ground claws on occasion, and they're not real forgiving on that. But we'll set this up in a bit and I'll show some to you. Next one in order of size is, this is an out tree. This is it's oddball sizes. This is 7.9 feet by 7.2 feet. This is an Amazon find. $17 for almost an 8 by 8. $17. It's a great deal. This one has 6 tie-outs, and they are grommets. They're not actual tie-outs, but you know, I'm not a big fan of grommets, but you can always, there's ways to get around that. So 17 bucks, 7.9 by 7.2, so pretty close to 8 by 7. So, and this one works great. This is heavy duty. We're going to set it up too. It's a heavy duty tarp. It's waterproof, seam sealed. It's a good tarp. And the one you saw in the last video, again up by size here, is this is a Kalinko. It says Kalinko hammocks. It also says it's a trap, if you guys can see that. I don't know if you can see it. It's a tarp, but I guess it could be a trap. It also says it's olive green, and it's actually brown. So this one here is 10 foot by 10 foot, and it's got 19 tie-outs, not grommets. It's got actual tie-outs, 19 of them, and they're reinforced. This is a fantastic tarp. Amazon again, 30 bucks. So by out of all these, I believe this is probably your best value for the bang for the buck. If you're just getting into camping or bushcrafting, or you're wanting to ditch the tent or just have some more versatility, this is your tarp. So that's enough with the notes. Let me get these set up here real quick, and we'll go from there. I'm going to apologize in advance. Some of these videos are going to be shorter than normal because I am uploading videos right now with a cell phone, and I don't see that changing in the near future. So we're relying on a cell phone signal and a signal booster tower to get a signal out, and so I can actually get connected to the interweb and get you guys some videos. So uploaded about a 15-minute video, I believe, yesterday. It took almost 5 hours to get it out, so 4 or 5 hours I guess it was. I didn't really keep a stopwatch on it, but it took a long time, and that's yeah, so you can only imagine if I upload a 45-minute video, it'll take days probably. So I'm going to try to keep the videos kind of condensed for a little while. Again, apologize about that. I know everybody likes longer videos. I've got some longer videos I'm working on, but I won't be able to upload them from here. I've got a friend that's got an office in another town, a couple hours away, that When I get in there, he's got a business connection, and I can just zip the videos out. But in the meantime, won't be any long videos. So again, sorry about that. So let's get these set up. I just got my rope bag, random pieces of rope, and we're gonna set up a couple tarps, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, this is the 5x7. As you can see, it makes a really good quick impromptu windscreen. You could angle it and have maybe enough room to sleep under. It's only going to be 7 feet. But if it's a nice sunny night and you know you're not going to, or day, and you know you're not expecting rain that evening, this would be a pretty decent tarp for that. It is situational. I'll set it up in a diagonal real quick and show you what it would look like as a hammock tie out. But this would work great for having a fire in front, and just if you just need a basic windscreen, it's perfect. So let's get this set up in a diagonal, and I'll bring you guys back. Okay, with the 5x7 set up in a diamond, you can see there's absolutely enough room for a hammock under there, and enough room to stay, you know, nice and dry. I've used this several times, and it works great. To get around the grommets, like I was saying, I've got prussics on my ridge line. I just carry the same ridge line and use it for whatever I need. But it's pretty well quick deploy. We can cover that in another video. I don't think there'll be time in this one, but if you want to know about the ridge line, let me know in the comments. But I just basically put the prussic loop through, run a little stick through it. You don't have to worry about the little tiny grommets. Plus, it takes a lot of stress off the grommets. I've done that on all the corners there. So but anyway, here's the 5x7 set up in a diamond. It's just enough, in my opinion. I don't know that I would want to weather out a incredibly hard rainstorm with that. I think you probably could, but just because you can doesn't mean necessarily that you should. So it would probably keep you dry, especially if you dropped it down really close to the hammock. But if it's going to be blowing in from the side, I don't know, you might get wet. So use it at your own risk. That's the 5x7 will be the absolute smallest. And now, with that being said, this is a small hammock. This is a ultralight hammock from, sorry, it's a featherlight from Wise Owl Outfitters, which I have done some modifications to make it even feather lighter. So that is probably the lightest hammock you're ever going to see, including the suspension. So if you guys want to know anything about hammocks, let me know in the comments down below. I'll be happy to go over hammocks. I've got a slew of them. So that is the smallest one that I own. And again, that is the Wise Owl feather light. So and I've modified it pretty heavily. So anyway, let's get the out free set up and we'll see what it does. Okay, I've got the out tree set up in a diamond. We'll start there, and so you can see how much more coverage you get with just not a whole lot more square footage. So this is the diamond, and look at that. That is a palace compared to the 5x7. No way you're going to get wet in that in a rainstorm. Drop the sides clear to the ground if you need to, and you've got absolutely tons of room. Again, it's got the small grommets, so you need to do something to offset that. You could just tie a you could just actually tie a loop and leave it hanging out and attach that way. But look at that, tons of room. And as you can see, look how filthy. I didn't use this tarp last. I actually have, this has been on loan to a family member for probably close to a year, and this is the way it came back. You don't see my tarps looking like that. So anyway, I'm glad I set this up. This one will have to go through the wash and get hung up to dry, but look at that, it's filthy. Take care of your tarps and they will take care of you. And as you can see, I don't know if you guys see this, but if you can see these grommets, see the stress on them, they like to pull out. So that's a common problem with grommet style tarps. And I'm going to be honest, there's nothing you can do to really stop it other than try to put some sticks through and spread the weight out, excuse me. But I've taken like rocks and tied up in there and used rope on the rocks when the grommets break, and that seems to work okay. But grommets are on tarps, or when you're tying them out like this, they're a point of failure. So anyway, let's get this one set up as a windbreak, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, as a windbreak, it covers a whole lot more area than the 5x7, as you can see. It does a pretty good job. Actually, it's pretty windy right now, so as a windbreak, this one does pretty well. I want to show you one more feature of this one, and we'll be right back. Okay, all we've done here is simply lower our ridge line on the tree and staked out the four corners. We've moved our ridge line to the center grommets. Like I said, this one has 6, just enough to do this. If not, you would have to like tie a rock in there and come off of that. But this is supported by the ridge line all the way through, and as you can see, there's plenty of room in there for a Newfoundland and all your gear and yourself. So anyway, there's plenty of room there, and that works out pretty well. That will keep you dry in the bad weather. Now let's move on to the Kalinko, the 10x10, and we'll set it up. Okay, I got to come clean on this Outtree. I believe it was me that put it up dirty last time. I was looking at the dirt like, man, it was looking an awful lot like paw prints. I forgot. I believe I used this as a ground cloth on the last overnight, so I'm pretty certain I did. I did. So I'm the one that put it away dirty, and I'm the one that'll clean it. So anyway, let's get back to setting up this 10x10 Kalinko. Okay, this here is probably my favorite setup for most of the year. As you can tell, the dogs are pretty comfortable with this too. They think it's home. They've already invaded. So, but just a ridge line at the halfway mark, and then I've just put a couple sticks. Just thrown a loop over the top, brought that down, staked it out, and that's it. You've got a great lean-to shelter, and this thing is huge. You can stay dry under there. You could have your fire in the front, collect heat back in. You've got plenty of room for your gear, multiple people if you needed to, and this is probably my favorite setup. This is another reason I kind of like square tarps, because they just give you so many more options. But again, on this tarp, it's every single tie out is reinforced with like a rubber like material. This thing looks to be bulletproof, especially for a $30 tarp. I don't know how it'll do long term, but you'll see a lot of this tarp in the campouts, I got a feeling. So anyway, there are other tarp configurations that you can do. If you guys want to know more about that, let me know. I can do the tent tarps, I can do the completely closed in pyramids. Let me know if there's something you want to see. So anyway, I'm going to cut this one off here, and hopefully it answered the tarp questions. And again, I'm afraid this one may be longer than 15 minutes, but we're going to try to get it starting to upload, edited and upload, so maybe we can get this up to you guys sometime fairly soon. Stay safe. Above all things, stay safe. If you like the channel, like, subscribe. Please leave comments, man. It just makes it fun. I try to answer the comments. I don't always get notifications from YouTube when there's a new comment, so I try to look, but it's hard to go through all the videos. So I check the most recent ones normally, but you know, if you're not getting a response, man, try it on the most recent video. That would be the best thing to do. And again, like, subscribe, turn on all the notifications on the little bell. God bless everybody. Stay safe during this time, and we'll see you on the next video.